Good morning, welcome to Morning Review. So Kim speaking on Monday, the 13th of February. So looking at the euro dollar first, and well, we're pretty close to, I don't know, say possibly pretty close, but the weekly pivot's not that far. It's about 40 pips above us at the moment. I'm just looking at its price action. Of course, it's looking pretty negative from a daily perspective in terms of trend. Just wondering if we'll see some sort of bounce here back towards that weekly pivot, that lovely combination of the daily 8 and 21 sitting right on that pivot at the moment. So if it was a quickish move, we could see um, a potential short there. Now, looking aside of that on the shorter time frames here, where we've already hit the daily pivot, the 60-minute MA may provide some resistance here. It's a while since it's been hit. And last time it was, well, just pretty much cut through, so it hasn't really been tested from the underside. Now, a break of that really would confirm more potential for the upside there. Um, I'll watch this after the 8 o'clock session. I'd like to see this sort of direction taken in terms of the market, in terms of a bit of a bounce. However, not at all blind to the potential of a rollover here. So watching closely also this trend, but at the moment sort of expecting a push up there, but as I say, maybe a bit limited. We'll see. Cable. Well, cable's a bit more of a mess on Friday. Well, last week it's sort of quite spiky in both directions there. We have got a weekly pivot below us, and momentum's negative there, as is it with the euro. Now the daily pivot's already been hit as well. The weekly pivot's below, untouched, and well, there's the potential it starts breaking down below the 34. That then Friday's lows would be a reasonable target. So watching for that. Rallies, well, selling. There's not particularly keen to sell into any rallies with the shape of the pound from a daily perspective. I mean, it could. The problem is it could go either way, so it's a bit lacking direction. Dollar yen. Well, monthly pivot could still be on. We've had a bit of a push up. It looks to me like a bit of RSI divergence certainly there on the yen there on the 4 hourlies. That could roll a little bit more. Weekly pivot set up below us. Would like to have seen it push up to that monthly pivot, but we have well, we've got daily pivot and weekly pivot below us. Any continued sell-off post 8 o'clock would see those both as targets. We've already hit the 50 MA, so that may not provide too much in the way of support on the way down, giving us the opportunity back for that weekly pivot. Friday's low sort of area, maybe the S1. There's also a bit of support further beyond that, but say looking iffy at the moment. The divergences on the 4 hourlies. Any rallies here may just pop up and run towards that monthly pivot. So it's certainly not a lacking possibility there. Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar. Well, Friday saw another positive day. It's held up against the US dollar, probably the best of the majors. And well, Friday, as I say, Friday ends up closing up above us. We have got the weekly pivot below us. Momentum's pretty scarce here on the shorter time frames. It's not really. It's probably a bit more positive on the 4 hourlies there. Already hit the daily pivot. Weekly pivot just short of. So any sell-off below those 21 moving averages may see us coming back towards that weekly pivot. Any rallies well into Friday's highs and maybe well beyond. It's looking like it's already broken one of the key levels I was looking at. In fact, I need to really come back to the 4 hourlies there. There was a lot of sort of resistance levels, but the next sort of key resistance level there is that 76.95 sort of area, the prior highs here. That on the 76.95, it's not too far short of its daily R1 there. Canadian dollar down here. So it was starting to gain some ground against the US dollar here and heading south. Largely helped last week by some movements in oil. Oil again is holding up there at the moment around that 53, $53.84, $54. Lots of resistance around that zone before, a bit previously. It's a case now, a lot of selling pressure. If it starts pushing up beyond there, well, perhaps it's time it will get back up to that $55 mark and maybe beyond, which could potentially help the Canadian dollar head back down. Bit of a mixed bag on the daily stroke 4-hourly in terms of momentum, but pattern-wise, as I say, could be still heading south a bit more. Looking from the hourly pattern here, already through the daily, weekly pivots, maybe we can see a continuation. We'll be back down to Friday's lows and then the S1. Any sort of still got that trend line. I probably have to adjust it a little bit now that sits across there, but it does look weak for the trend line now. Earlier on, early in the week, it looked like a nice bull flag, but as the week progressed, it's certainly rolling over, which makes the downside more possible. Okay, news-wise today, there's absolutely nothing to come out in significant news. Of course, there's excluding the Trump effect, so we'll just have to wait until he tweets later on. Aside of that, is, as I say, absolutely nothing, not even low impact data that's already been released. So we're down to the speakers and Trump. Have a great one. Bye for now.